Hi, I'm Ash. I'm a social scientist and I make videos about sociological things, and sometimes I make vlogs. In today's video, we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories and conspiracy theories that haunt my brain at 2 a.m. So let's get into the video. Firstly, I do want to apologize for the lack of content lately. There has just been a lot going on for me personally. We've had lots of events to go to and things like that, but hopefully I can get back into a rhythm and get you more content. With that being said, if you do enjoy sociology content like this, make sure you stick around and subscribe to the channel. And that would really help me out because we're such a small channel and just trying to build community and all that jazz. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the conspiracy theories that basically keep me up at night. And I'm also going to do a thing where I try and debunk them as well. And as always, I've written a blog post about this over on ashycakes.com. I'll link that down in the description below so you can go and check that out. But I do want to start with Wikipedia's definition of a conspiracy theory. So according to Wikipedia, a conspiracy theory is an explanation for an event or situation that asserts the existence of a conspiracy, generally by powerful sinister groups, often political in motivation, when other explanations are more probable. So why do we believe in conspiracy theories? There are many reasons, but according to the APA 2023, humans are more susceptible to believing in conspiracy theories due to personality traits and motivations such as relying on their intuition, a sense of antagonism, feeling superior to others, and perceived threats in their own environments. A lot of people turn to conspiracy theories in times of uncertainty, for example, during the pandemic, distress, and impairment. The APA 2023 also suggests that those more likely to believe in conspiracy theories have higher amounts of paranoia, are more likely to be insecure and withdrawn, and are egocentric, or more likely to be egocentric. Van Prugeen 2022 highlights that even though conspiracy theories have objectively negative effects on people in society, many of us still find them appealing. Such theories can be rewarding by providing a sense of meaning and purpose, kind of like religion does for some people, and in turn this meaning and purpose can lead to feelings of excitement, legitimacy, and importance. This demonstrates that conspiracy theories may be a form of instant gratification. Conspiracy theories also allow people to become DIY detectives, but there is a problem with the DIY detectives, which is that they've already come to their own conclusion about something, so they're not actually doing any more digging. They're just relying on confirmation bias, which is something we have to be aware of when discussing conspiracy theories, because you're more likely to find something that aligns with your own belief, which is confirmation bias. Now let's get to the list of conspiracy theories that haunt my brain at 2 a.m. Most of these conspiracy theories have come from the special place of the internet, and I've done some research on it, and as I said before, I'm going to try and debunk them if I can. So the first one we're going to be talking about is the Denver International Airport, and this one has a lot of conspiracy theories about it. I feel like it could probably be its own video entirely because there is just so much. But I think we have 6. Yeah, we've got 6 conspiracy theories about the Denver airport. So the Denver International Airport is an airport located in Denver, Colorado in the USA. It is the largest airport in the Western Hemisphere and the second largest in the world. After the completion of the airport in 1995, many conspiracy theories about it started to emerge, and there were so many conspiracy theories about the airport that the airport just started using it as a marketing tactic, which is kind of clever. So in 2016, the airport opened an exhibition for some of the conspiracy theories, and in 2019, an animatronic gargoyle was installed that would say things like, "Welcome to Illuminati headquarters." But many people ended up taking offense to this, and the gargoyle was replaced with a more muted version. So what about the conspiracy theories? So the first one is about the tunnel. So the airport ended up having many delays in its opening. I believe it was pushed from 1993 all the way to 1995. And this led to the belief that there were underground tunnels being built. The tunnels are real, but conspiracy theories about what they're for really aren't real. So the tunnel law is that they lead to underground survival bunkers for the elite, are homes for aliens, are military bases, are homes for lizard people, lead to the North American Aerospace Defense Command. But what the tunnels actually are moving luggage around check-in counters, baggage areas, and terminals. However, some staff even take the conspiracy theory so far by wearing lizard masks just to kind of freak people out. So the second one is New World Order or secret societies. So the Denver International Airport is in an isolated location, and I feel like most airports are, but this leads many people to believe that the airport is going to be used by the New World Order as some type of prison or concentration camp. There is a time capsule at the airport with an engraved plaque that has the Freemason symbol and says New World Airport Commission, which is a group that has never existed. However, this plaque prompted many to believe that the airport is or was controlled by the Freemasons and linked to the New World Order conspiracy. The New World Order conspiracy is when people think that a group of elites are plotting to take over the world. There is no evidence or correlation that the Denver International Airport and the Freemasons are connected or ever have been connected. The third conspiracy theory surrounding the Denver International Airport is to do with art, and this one's just really sad. So there's a lot of art scattered around the airport, and many people believe there are hidden meanings and messages inside these art murals. The specific ones are murals from artist Leo Tangamba. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'll put their name on screen. And according to a Denver blog, this is what they actually represent, and this is a quote. The pieces purportedly express the artist's hopeful desire for the people of the world to live in peace with one another and in harmony with nature, but others have been more focused on the anti-themes of war, death, pollution, and environmental destruction, even claiming that the artworks contain clues and messages about the apocalypse and the inevitable rise of a totalitarian world government. And as these murals ended up being removed during construction of the airport, people believed that there was a cover-up going on about what was hidden in these murals. And this had many implications for the artist's family, because they were threatened, they were accused of being Satanists, people wanted to destroy their art, and this is just really awful. You should never threaten someone like that, even if you believe a weird conspiracy theory. It's just art. And clearly the artist has explained that it means harmony. Anyway, I'm going to go on a tangent if I don't stop talking about that one. So the next conspiracy theory about the Denver International Airport is alien language. People have said that there are markings in the airport that may represent either an alien language or some sort of secret language. However, we can easily debunk this one, as the markings are actually Navajo language characters and identifiers for airport artists. This is a language spoken in North America and is used by the airport to show a commitment to the culture and indigenous peoples. Like, come on, guys. The fifth conspiracy theory is about blue Mustang eyes. So that giant blue horse that is, I guess when you think of Denver Airport, you think of a giant blue horse that lives there. So the airport has a giant blue horse statue with blazing red eyes, and many have called these eyes demonic. So in 2006, the artist Louis Jimenez, I'm sorry if I'm butchering their names, was working on the statue when part of it unfortunately fell on him. It ended up severing an artery and he passed away. And many people have made up a story that the horse came alive and did this on purpose. However, the blazing red eyes were a tribute to the artist's dad, who owned a neon light store in Mexico, and it was just a very unfortunate freak accident. Next and final conspiracy theory about the Denver International Airport is flat earth. I'm sorry, I feel so judgmental when I talk about the flat earth theory. So in 2023, a viral TikTok theory alleged that a 30-year-old art installation in the airport wasn't 30 years old, it was new, and that this art installation proved the flat earth theory. However, the problem with this is that the art piece wasn't new at all, and when you do fly into Denver, you can literally see the curvature of the earth. Okay, that's all the ones about the Denver International airport. So let's move on to some other ones. So double stuffed Oreos. There's a conspiracy theory that Oreos made double stuffed Oreos so that they could lower the amount of cream that they put into regular Oreos. Then they slowly reduced the amount, and now double stuffed Oreos have exactly the same amount as normal Oreos did originally, and normal Oreos have even less. Interesting fact, Oreos are vegan, so it's not even real dairy in it. Anyway, I think this conspiracy theory holds a little bit of weight since I did some more research on it, and I found that a teacher called Dan Anderson and his students investigated how much stuffing was in the Oreos. The results of this study showed that the stuffing isn't actually double, it's only around 1.9% more than a normal Oreo. And Oreo did end up responding to this study, or the teacher, and said, well, I'm not familiar with what was done in the classroom setting. I can confirm for you that our recipe for the Oreo double stuffed cookie has double the stuff or cream filling when compared with our base or original Oreo cookie. And I can't say for sure who is right, because I think you would need to do more samples, more tests in like multiple countries, but Oreo themselves have claimed that it is double and that it's not a conspiracy theory, but I cannot debunk it. Moving on now to Snapchat facial recognition, and this one really interested me because I didn't come across it when I was studying, but I don't know how, but I'm just very interested in this. So there's a conspiracy theory that the popular social media app Snapchat is actually building a super detailed facial recognition database. So in 2015, Snapchat launched a feature called Lenses, where users could put filters and other silly things like cartoons over their faces when taking snaps of themselves. And because of this, I believe there are lawsuits against Snapchat. However, Snapchat has allegedly said that they use object recognition rather than facial recognition. Google and Facebook have both come under controversy for the same thing. It's kind of unclear what happened with the lawsuit, but it was dismissed in favor of arbitration, which is an informal process rather than going to court. But that's as much as I could find online. But where did this conspiracy theory actually come from? There are some example tweets from Twitter as far back as 2015 that most likely fueled the rumors. So one from user Teen Wolf says, "You guys are all swooning over the Snapchat filters, and the FBI is getting the most extensive facial recognition library ever." And in 2016, hip-hop artist B.O.B. tweeted, "When you realize all the Snapchat filters are building a facial recognition database." And I think we can easily debunk this one, as facial recognition technology has been around since the 1960s. It's not a brand new technology, and who we are is collected all the time through public surveillance. If you walk down the street, in like a big city, how many cameras can you spot? My hair is... I'm not having a good hair day. I apologize. So public surveillance systems are all around, and the Silicon Valley nerds probably don't need it. So keep snapping, you're safe. And there is also a source that I've cited here that claims that Snapchat isn't sharing its data with any other third party and has literally no correlation with the FBI. Next, we're going to be talking about Netflix memes for marketing purposes, or the Bird Box effect. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that movie, Bird Box. It was an interesting horror movie. Anyway, this is totally conspiracy theory that I can get behind, and yeah, it's most likely true. So back when the Netflix movie Bird Box was released in 2018, it had awful reviews, probably because it's a horror movie, and it kind of still does. But Netflix ended up doing something quite clever with their marketing. Before the movie was released, they gave a bunch of famous Twitch streamers a Bird Box challenge, where these streamers had to play their favorite video games blindfolded. And weeks before the movie came out, many influencers started referencing the film just totally unprompted. And so many memes started appearing, and viewers were left with a bit of FOMO, which is an acronym for fear of missing out. So why does this marketing actually work? Well, a positive symbiotic relationship between a meme and a movie or TV show relies on just two things. So one, general access, and two, positive reception of the show or movie, according to Beresnack 2019. And I don't think this is just Bird Box that Netflix does this for. Think about TV shows like Wednesday, Stranger Things. We see a meme, we want to watch this show so we can understand the meme, and in turn leading to a higher view count. And I cannot debunk this conspiracy theory because I think it's true. Moving on now to conspiracy theories surrounding the passing of Princess Diana. And there are a lot of different conspiracy theories about this, and there was so much going on, and lots of people speculated different things, and there are way too many to go in detail, but there are so many books and resources online if you want to go down a rabbit hole for Princess Diana, but I'm going to summarize as best I can here. And even though it might be the case that something more sinister was going on, according to the inquest into Princess Diana's death, none of the conspiracy theories were found to be true. So number one, according to the person Princess Diana was dating, Dodi, and his family, she was pregnant. However, there was no sign she was pregnant in the post-mortem examination, no signs in her blood work, and her friends all suggested that her menstrual cycle was normal at the time. And theories emerged that the royals would not be able to accept an Egyptian Muslim would-be stepfather of the future king of England, which is so gross, so racist, and so bigoted, and I believe this rumor was fueled by Dodi's family after they both passed away. So the second one is that Princess Diana herself believed that she was going to be a target of an attack. In a letter written to Princess Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, she said, and this is a quote, "I am sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. ... Someone is planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious injury in order to make the path clear for Charles to marry." And it was believed that this letter was written when Princess Diana had legitimate concerns for her safety. She was having problems with her car, and her bodyguard died under mysterious circumstances. However, reports found that there was no evidence she was going to be hurt on purpose by the royals. Although I still struggle with these conspiracy theories because, like, they could have just covered it up so easily because they're so powerful, if you get what I mean. And I think so many people actually believe those conspiracy theories. It wouldn't surprise, what I'm saying is that it probably wouldn't surprise me if this one ended up being true, like Watergate or MK Ultra sort of thing. The third is that the paparazzi caused the crash intentionally. I hope it's obvious, like I hope everyone knows common knowledge of what happened to Princess Diana. But the Independent UK says this theory has three specific forms. The first alleges that the group of paparazzi chased and pushed Diana's Mercedes so that it could make the crash happen. The second argued that members of the paparazzi encouraged an environment where a crash could happen. The third suggests that the paparazzi accidentally created a situation that conspirators exploited to hurt the people in the car. Yeah, I can't debunk it, but I don't know for sure. And the fourth one is that driver Henry Paul, who was head of security at the Ritz Hotel where they were in France, caused the crash intentionally. And this one kind of confuses me a bit because some reports say that Paul was drunk, others don't. Some say that evidence was tampered with. And I also read somewhere that he was given a substance that he wouldn't normally take. It's also alleged that Paul was paid off by the secret services of either France or the UK to cause the crash. And there's so much more about that. I've seen podcasts about it, so go and check those out if you want to go down the Princess Diana car crash rabbit hole. Okay, moving on now to Area 51 and Area S4, I believe it's called. So I'm sure we're all familiar with Area 51, all the memes, all that, and what it's kind of for. But if not, basically, Area 51 is a secret military installation in Nevada. Details of what goes on there are not made public, but the Wikipedia page claims that Area 51 is an open training range, and I think it's owned by the CIA. And due to the secrecy about it, Area 51 has become synonymous, I can't talk, synonymous with conspiracy theories, with suggestions that it holds alien spacecraft and conducts scary experiments similar to the MK Ultra ones. I also believe this area is just used for aircraft testing. In 1989, conspiracy theorist Bob Lazar claimed that he was part of a reverse engineering of extraterrestrial technology and worked at Area 51, but he has provided no evidence of aliens at all. And so let me get to Area S4. So allegedly, there is another top secret area which is part of Area 51 where the real top secret alien stuff actually goes on, and you can't see this one on Google Maps. So to debunk this, I'm literally unable to find any evidence of this online. Bob Lazar is most likely a con man. And I think there is an S4 area, but I don't think it's for alien stuff. It's most likely just a storage area. And I also think that because there are no real answers to what's going on with testing there, people are easily swayed by conspiracy theories. But the next one we're going to be talking about is the CIA cheat code. And I put that in quotation marks just because I just don't get how you believe that this is literally a cheat code for life. So I like to follow Occam's razor when it comes to things, and this conspiracy theory is just very, very silly. And I first heard about it in a TikTok video, and I was like, I have to Google that because that doesn't sound right. So this TikTok video from the user Yokefather explains that the CIA released a cheat code from the Monroe Institute of Applied Sciences. And in this document, there is a code that you can use to reduce pain. And this is what the document says. So I'm going to say what it says and then we'll discuss, okay? So to reduce pain signals, look with your closed eyes at that part of your body which is the source of pain signals. As you look, repeat in your mind the number 55515. When you do these two things, the pain signals will slowly reduce until they are no longer important. So this document was released in 2003 by the Monroe Institute, which is a place that studies human consciousness and new age things like meditation, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, astral prediction, biofeedback, and other things. So we can safely debunk this one. This pain signal cheat code is just like a form of self-hypnosis or meditation, and it's probably just a form of placebo effect. And it's been around since 2003, so it's not anything new. It's probably going to work if you believe it's going to work. Let me know if you've tried it. I've done meditations when I've had migraines. Sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. But I also think there's a lot of problems claiming that it's a cheat code specifically, because it implies we're living in a simulation, which is an interesting theory that I'd like to go down one day because there's a lot of research on it. But I think that'll take me quite a while to make a video or a blog post about that. This is going to be a very long video. So moving on now to conspiracy theory, Project Blue Beam. So this conspiracy theory was put forward by Sergei Monast, who lived from 1945 to 1996. So Project Blue Beam is allegedly a conspiracy theory that, and this is a quote, posits a plot to facilitate a totalitarian world government by destroying Abrahamic religions and replacing them with a New Age belief system using futuristic NASA technology and involving a faked alien invasion or faked extraterrestrial encounter meant to deceive nations into uniting under a new world government. So many people believed that the alien invasion was going to begin in either 1995 or 1996 when Sergei Monast past the turn of the millennium was then proposed rather than those years. And there would be a few stages for this conspiracy theory. So, number 1, earthquakes would be triggered to unearth hidden artifacts, which would prove all religions false. The second stage would be holographic projections would show the return of divine figures specific for each region, and then there would be a unifying God that would speak to everyone everywhere. And the third stage is that the technology used would be able to control human thoughts to create the illusion of direct communication with gods or deities, then simulate an alien invasion which would be used to justify authoritarian control. I've literally written what the F here in capital letters. I'm sorry if you believe in this conspiracy theory. I'm sorry. I'm being so judgmental right now. Anyway, in December 2024, an article by Newsweek reported that numerous individuals in New Jersey and New York were observing drones in the sky, which was unusual for them. The FBI stated that they were unaware of the drone's origin, which intensified rumors regarding the conspiracy theory known as Project Bluebeam. So lots of people saw drones in the sky in places like New York and New Jersey and were like, oh, Project Bluebeam is starting. So many right-wing Trump supporters discussed this theory on their podcasts, suggesting that the drones are part of Project Bluebeam, believing that the alien invasion has begun. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't go to that extreme if that's what's going to happen. Anyway, can we debunk this theory? Yes, we absolutely can. The drones were most likely from the US government, as most sightings were near military bases, and the drones that people saw had the correct legal lighting on them, which was required by US aircraft law. And according to a professor of mechanical engineering, we probably shouldn't be too concerned. Although that's probably what they'd say if that was really happening. I'm sorry, I need to take a break. Next, we're going to be talking about Disney's Frozen conspiracy theory. And I'm pretty sure Disney, Disney World, Disneyland have come under controversy for lots of things. Like, there's been lots of conspiracy theories about them over time. But this one has been popping up over TikTok lately. So the theory goes that the movie Frozen was called Frozen to distract from something more sinister. Furthermore, there is speculation that Walt Disney's body was cryogenically frozen, and this is so that one day they could bring him back to life when they had the technology to do so. But there is no evidence that Walt Disney is actually frozen, so what does this actually have to do with the movie Frozen? In 2019, a dark conspiracy theory emerged about Walt Disney's body being frozen, and that the movie Frozen was meant to be a distraction. And why do people think this? Well, when you Google Disney Frozen, you just get the movie and nothing about Walt Disney's allegedly frozen body. Apparently, if you Google the word Frozen, the movie shows up more than anything else, and I can confirm this. When I googled Frozen, the results were all about the 2013 film, and it wasn't until page 4 that other information about other things came up. Now, I'm not a super expert on how Google works, but I do know a thing or two, and I would say that the success of the movie is most likely the reason for this. It was so popular, it's a great movie, has great music. So in conclusion, we have no evidence that Walt Disney was ever frozen, and we don't have any evidence that the film was a distraction from said frozenness. Frozenness? That doesn't sound like a real word, does it? I think it's a real word. This one is both sad and interesting at the same time. So it's about Bob Ross. So Bob Ross's conspiracy theory. And all you have to do to debunk this one is literally Google it, because it will show you. Anyway, Bob Ross was an American painter who was known for his painting tutorials that had a very calming vibe about them. He hosted The Joy of Painting, which he didn't actually get paid for, but his revenue from art sales and products helped keep him afloat. Circling the likes of TikTok and YouTube, I've seen many people talk about the conspiracy theory that Bob Ross was actually a serial killer, and that he put clues as to where he put his victims in his paintings. I've also heard alternatives to this theory, that because he was involved in the military before his art career, he saw a lot of things happen to good people, and that he painted images of where he saw those things happen. And I think we can easily put this one to bed, because when you Google it, it comes up with a Reddit thread from 10 years ago on writing prompts. I'll put the screenshots on screen, and the original post of where this came from is from Shower Thoughts on Reddit. So literally someone on the internet made it up. So the next one is that the Mandela effect is a test to see how much the government and authorities can change history. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to giggle, but it's funny. Okay, first things first, the Mandela effect is real. If you want me to make a video on that, let me know. It's clearly a thing where people remember stuff wrong, so false memories. And I've seen a few TikToks, totally reliable source, where they are saying the Mandela effect is a test to see how much they can change history. And I'm going to debunk this one straight away. Say that the Mandela effect is not a conspiracy theory. They are not doing these things on purpose. It's a false collective memory. Sometimes the brain makes up stuff to help with gaps in memory, and sometimes it is the exact same as what someone else's brain does, which is known as honest lying. The person has no intention of lying, it just happens. And there's the possibility of collective false memories, which is so interesting. And I think this has more to do with consciousness than people changing history to mess with us or test us. And a couple of studies have shown this, that the Mandela effect is in fact evidence for collective false memories. However, it doesn't mean we can't have fun exploring them. And the final conspiracy theory is that we are all dead. And I'll put the TikTok in that explains it, because I think they do a better job than me.
We are all dead. This shows all the conspiracies in the world, from the most well-known ones to the darkest of the dark. And as I'm sure you know, in this series we're going from the top to the bottom, so let's go. This is wild and will have you thinking for a long time. So it's scientifically proven that after death there is around 7 or 8 minutes of brain activity remaining. And a recent study has just been done which could suggest this happens for hours. Along with this, there's been the theory for years that life flashes before your eyes when you die. So here's the theory, and this is scary. So time is distorted when you're in dreams, right? Like a dream may actually only be about a minute, but feels to you when you're in it like an hour or 2 hours, even longer. So when you die, if your life does flash before your eyes, you'll relive all your memories in real time in that 7 or 8 minutes, but it actually feels to you like your entire life. So what if we are all dead, laying in a hospital now or whatever, and our life is flashing before our eyes right now and we're reliving all of our memories? Obviously there's things like, how the hell am I filming this video then? But I mean, it's pretty scary to think about. Hit that follow button, it's going to get even crazier.
The user discusses how there's been studies done to show that when we die, we see our lives flashing before us. This was thought to have only been for about 8 minutes or so, but it is speculated that it could happen for hours at a time. So the conspiracy theory is that when you die, you relive all your memories in what feels like real time, like a dream. And it's possible that all of us right now are already dead and we're just reliving our lives while on our deathbeds. Pretty morbid, and I feel like this would do well with philosophical debates and things like that. So we have discussed many conspiracy theories today. I've debunked a few of them. I want to know, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy sociology content like this. I'm Ash, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching again. Bye.
Yeah.